Hello, curious questioning minds. Today we're going to watch some TikToks and they're going to be based on conspiracies and spirituality and essence. I'm basically going to be the annoying friend who just interrupts and talks through it, so enjoy.
There's also a conspiracy theory about a movie that came out recently
What
too,
movie?
The Sound of Freedom. That whole thing is trying to give awareness about child trafficking,
Mm.
right? This
Dude, isn't it wild that this movie was made like over 5 years ago, fully completed apparently, and it was withheld from being put into the mainstream media because of the corporations that were trying to pull back on it, and they didn't want to give it I think I can't remember exactly what production it was, if it was DreamWorks or Disney or something like that, but had put in the funding for whatever reason to produce this, and then when it came to Final Cut, they postponed it. So that's very interesting. And it also just makes you think, like, if people who are holding this back, the corporations that are calling it conspiracy and saying that it's a far right agenda and all this shit, like human trafficking and child trafficking is like a very real and well-known issue, even if it's not as deep as like conspiracy goes. So like think about these corporations are taking a very real circumstance that people are suffering from, and they're taking this and they're defaming it. So it really just shows where do they align themselves when they're going to do something where real people are at risk and it's not conspiracy. Human trafficking is a documented thing. And then they're going to push away public attention and try to put all this stigma around it for people to just dismiss it and not look into it. It speaks volumes in itself. A lot of the times people will do things and they might say one thing and say they're aligned with something, but like when you look at their actions, what are they actually doing and promoting and like taking the power away from with attention? You can see their intention is very negative.
theories, everyone who's gone into movies to watch it, the movie theaters have teamed
They
up.
stopped it.
Yeah, trying not to sell tickets, trying not for people to watch it.
Yeah.
I've seen one where it's like, oh, the person
Just like, what would make you want to stop people going to this movie that's about child trafficking and having the awareness spread to save children? What kind of evil freaking person do you have to be? Honestly, I can't comprehend it.
tries to buy tickets, they said it's fully sold out. Goes in the movie theater, nobody there.
There's no one in here. And then it said that they were sold out.
What the hell?
Another
It's a
one,
very
the
small
guy comes
theater,
in, he's
but
like,
still.
oh, we have to download the movie. It's gonna take an hour. We can give you your movie back. Like, you guys can walk
Why would
out.
they have
Fam,
to
They're like
that
trying to-
never happens.
They're trying to stop them from watching
Why
it.
didn't they
Exactly. And the
freaking
two
just
main
get the
ones they've
movie if
been
it's on
doing,
the
turn off the
advertisements
AC
and
so it's
stuff?
hot as hell in there.
Oh, word.
And then
Just to let you guys know again, it is gonna get hot. It is gonna be like that throughout the whole movie.
So why should only this one though, not all the other ones?
the movies usually,
Yeah,
dim
yeah.
the lights when it goes on. The lights stay on the whole time, and people complain.
It's so strange how people network together, and even though they're not directly connected, they're still connected to the same root energy that's like working through them to manipulate these situations, but like as a team, but they're not working as a team. Like, what the hell? Like, this is what a lot of people can get mistaken as cults and stuff as well, because it can just be not even something you're officially initiated into to like participate in ritualistically. It can just be a mentality where you adapt it and you're going to take actions in accordance and alignment with this cult-like behavior, even though you're not even directly affiliated. You know what I mean?
Conspiracy theories that everyone knows is true, part 1. Everyone knows the story of the man that invented an engine that ran on nothing but water that supposedly was able to go 845 miles between Phillips. Somebody from the oil and gas industry got upset and got this guy whacked off basically in broad daylight.
Ah, how typical. Are we surprised? No.
They poisoned them and found unalived. I'm going to take it a step further on this. Not only do I think oil and gas industries are doing everything they can to stop people from inventing things like this, I think they're also stopping the advancement of just regular combustion engines and their mileage. I find it very strange that outside of going to a hybrid or an electric vehicle, that the overall gas mileage of engines really has not changed in many, many decades. Considering how much things have gotten advanced in everything else in society, I don't think it's really that possible that there's no way big companies like Toyota or Honda or Ford can't find a way to have.
Of course, because they purposely make things that aren't gonna last, because then we have to pay them more money, you know? Because think about, there's people from like 80 years ago who have washing machines and ovens that are like 60, 50 years old, and from those times they were so sturdy that they could last through decades with little to no repair. Well, I'm sure there's probably some repairs on all of them, but from little repair. And then they're still working so many decades later. And then stuff now, you get your white goods, your fridges and stuff that last probably 5 years, 10 years if you're really lucky, and you probably spend a decent amount of money on it, like for real.
An engine that's not a hybrid or electric that can add more mileage to a vehicle. But everyone knows this is true, and this is another thing that nobody steps up and does anything about because they're scared they're also going to go get whacked off. Conspiracy
Not
theories
anymore,
that everyone
guys.
knows
There's
is true.
too many
Part
of
one.
us.
Everyone knows the
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. So this right here shows all the conspiracy theories from the most well-known ones that we all know to the darkest of the dark. This series we're going to be going from the most well-known ones to the darkest.
Man,
of the
that list
dark,
has gotten
which
so
will
much
probably
bigger
get
since
on
I saw it a
Now,
couple
to do the
years ago.
research into
It
all
was
these,
like
it's probably
half
gonna
that.
disturb the hell out of me, but you know,
We've been doing some research, guys.
make sure you hit that follow button. Part 1. Let's go. Today we're going to be talking about Area 51, but not how you
ass.
think. Trust
Sorry,
me,
guys.
this is wild. This guy right here is Bob Lazar. Now, he used to work at Area 51. Now, Area 51 is, of
Balthazar?
course, one of the biggest conspiracy theories out there. What is it? Why can't we go near there? Is it just a military base? Bob claims he...
I heard this conspiracy, right, that Area 51, as well as having possible aliens, could also have facilities where they're basically birthing centers where they human traffic people into them, women obviously, and then they will impregnate them unconsensually and then keep making them have children just consistently in this center, and then they'll just steal the children and then re-impregnate them and then keep going and going, and this is one way where they get their babies. And because if you think about it, it's not documented, and if anyone goes near there, it's so highly protected by military. And I believe, like, you know, they would have different chambers and aspects to it, so perhaps some people would get to certain levels and they would see maybe aliens and futuristic technology, and then on the deeper aspect of people who are doing shadowy things and hiding it, but probably highly connected with the money and the power influence and everything, then they have these other facilities that we don't see, or not even we. Like, I'm a freaking agent that gets to go down there at all, but like what people who would work there see and what we guessed.
to work there, reverse engineering alien craft. Now this right here is his actual drawing of an alien craft. Yeah, crazy, right? This is where it gets mental, absolutely mental. I think Area 51 is this place, right? According to Bob, this is not where all the crazy stuff happened. It's actually down the road here, in a place called Area S4.
Because think about how big this place is, right? There is so much area for shady things to go on, you know? You really don't know what could be going on.
Area S4 is located up in the mountains, completely top secret, and nobody knows really what it is until Bob came out about it. Bob claims he would be taken to Area S4, which is an underground facility where he would work on the alien craft. Put the coordinates into Google and look at this place, it's just crazy. The road which leads straight up to it, the road ends right there, and then there's just like holes in the ground. So there is definitely something there.
Rihanna made a horrible mistake at her halftime show by reinforcing the crazy conspiracy theory that the Super Bowl is actually a live satanic ritual hosted by the elites to show off their power and influence to the peasants watching. And that every year the performer must flash the crowd a demonic or evil symbol of the Illuminati if they want to perform. Beyonce put up the same exact symbol to the crowd at her Super Bowl halftime show and was all over the news the next day for it.
Conspiracy theorists believe that Beyonce signaled that she's part of a secret society bent on world domination.
Some claim that's just the Rock Nation symbol, but why would other celebrities who aren't affiliated with Rock Nation at all flash it? Stop making excuses for them. At Justin Timberlake's 2018 show, he had a giant silhouette of Satan laughing at the crowd with his tail. They played it off like a guy playing the guitar. At Madonna's 2012 show, she was moving her body.
The thing that I didn't realize, and a lot of people don't realize, is that when people are having concerts, like if you tie it back to what our ancestors did, and our ancestors were, if you go really far back, mostly pagan or like polytheists or just like worshipping nature and stuff like that. Back then, when you would do a ritual, you would gather around the community and then you would do chants, and then this is channeling frequencies into everyone's consciousness. And what people don't realize is when you have these idols, these, which way is it? These celebrities like this, you're letting them channel energy through you, and because everything's connected, it's all a whole circuit, they're drawing energy out from you, and it gives them more power, you know, because the more attention, the more focus and energy they can harvest to redirect to whatever their agenda is. So when you're going to a concert and you're having chants, because that's what music is, it's the lyrics are chants, and it's reaffirming these vibrations and these conscious patterns and beliefs, programming you to think through these ways. And then also there's the vibration of the music. So the music can often, in the music industry, as probably you've already heard, music can be tied to certain hertz of frequencies to control our brain frequencies to be in certain states, and then certain states are the more susceptible to control and manipulation, especially tied with the influence of the lyrics. They can like plant, you know, morals and values that aren't our own through that, especially if we're just not consciously participating in it and we're just absorbing it, and then that all just becomes our subconscious energy. And when we're not aware of our when we're not aware of our subconscious energy and our conscious energy, lacking discernment, we can confuse the two for our self, you know.
This was insane. J-Lo's costume was showing this evil satanic goat, and she was showing the horns with her head too. Look at her costume though. You can't tell me those are two eyes and a nose and then antlers going up. The Weeknd's dancers were literally wearing such similar outfits to the exact same ones they would do in a satanic...
I don't know why, even before I had my spiritual awakening, sorry, I'm slurring, The Weeknd just always gave me the ick. Just, I don't know what it is. And now he's doing concerts, Satan on the wall, just like, was it Hail Satan even? I don't know, I think it was Satan. It's weird. Man, they're not hiding anymore, like, it's crazy.
Ritual? You can't tell me that whole thing didn't look demonic as hell. Literally. Before I show you the craziest part, make sure you follow us who finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about each of these celebrities and be in the know and request who you want to see next. Have you ever wondered why the Super Bowl is even called the Super Bowl? Because if you just move over the B, it actually spells superb owl, which is the... Seriously though, the same exact demonic owl that Madonna was wearing on her head, and one of the main species of animals that symbolizes satanic worship.
I think it's like really hard to conflate like the owl with just negativity all the time, you know, because they can use these icons, these symbols to refer to like certain ideologies and stuff, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody in the public eye who has an owl is a part of this Moloch worship. And, you know, sometimes it's just a bit of a far reach, but yeah, we'll give it, since we know the background of these characters, we'll give it a bit of leeway.
That you won't fly commercial. You said that it's like getting into a tube with a bunch of demons. Why do you think that?
No, listen to me this thing. Not the people. The main reason is because of the need of Inside Edition. You got to get this now. Hey, you listen to me? My wife thinks Inside Edition is, oh yeah.
He's like, that's so creepy, what the hell? What even is this shit? Is this the farting preacher?
Said that you won't fly commercial. You said that it's like getting into
Bruh.
a tube with a bunch of demons.
What even?
Why do you think
I'm
that?
so
No,
confused.
listen to me this thing. Not the people.
Here comes the truth about the moon landings.
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest. It didn't happen. It could have been scary. Certainly.
Not gonna lie, I personally
comes the
don't know
truth
who
about
this
the moon
guy
landings.
is. Like, is
What
this
was the
valid?
scariest moment of the journey?
Let's see, hold on.
Scariest.
Let's go to the comments section. Or the government told him to keep the moon landing secret's a secret. What even does that mean? Fake, he's so out of his mind. At that day and age, it would have been harder to fake a moon landing compared to actually going to the moon. Like, I feel like I lost a bit of brain cells reading that. Because, like, is he just judging this old fella because he's old? And that's a valid reason to just dismiss everything he says? Or, okay, good on you, mate. We can't land on the moon now, and people think we did in the 60s. Yeah, for real. Yeah, so apparently we went to the moon, but we can't now. No other country's doing it, but like... Sorry, glitched out. Just couldn't comprehend the duh. We've been lied to. NASA, another money-making laundering scheme. Okay, interesting thing before I leave, right? So NASA was founded by this fella called Jack Parsons, right? Jack Parsons, he created the thing called Jet Propulsion Lab. I think that's it. It was JPL. And then, so that then escalated into becoming NASA. Because this guy, right, created rockets that were used then for war. And there's a series based on this called Strange Angel, very interesting. And let me just boil down the quick details. This guy basically entered a cult under one of the hierarchies of Aleister Crowley, and then they were doing sex magic and all this weird ritual stuff. Sacrifices for all we know, and he claims that he did a deal with the devil on a peyote trip, and that gave him all these visions and ability to manifest creating rockets for war. But his pure intention as a kid, so his God-given vision that he wanted to do was he wanted to go to the moon, but as the evil does, it manipulated him, and then he ended up trying to create a way to get to the moon that ended up being created for bombs, sending bombs. And it's very interesting series, highly recommend. I could have probably gone into much further great detail, but basically the foundation of NASA was started by some guy who created a sex cult following teachings of Aleister Crowley, who would come to him in premonitions, allegedly. I can't remember if they were alive at the same time or not, possibly, but yeah, definitely interesting to research. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and see you on the next one.